Annihilation follows a cellular biology professor and former soldier of the US Army named Lena after her husband, also a soldier of the US Army Special Forces, mysteriously reappears in their home after going missing on a classified mission in a mysterious quarantined zone about a year prior. Not remembering anything that happened to him and suddenly becoming very ill and falling into a coma, they are eventually detained by a government security force. Determined to find out what happened to her husband, Lena joins a group of military scientists led by a psychologist named Ventress on a dangerous, secret expedition to enter the same zone from which her husband is as of yet the only one to have barely come back from alive, which they will discover is an electromagnetic anomaly in which the laws of nature as we know them no longer apply. It becomes pretty clear from the get-go that the laws of physics and the laws of biology really don't function the same way in this space as they do anywhere else on our planet. Now, whether this is an extraterrestrial event or a parallel universe thing or something else, they really don't know, but that's what they are there to find out. I think we as humans are programmed to want things, at least a lot of us are, if not all of us, and we feel the need to have these sort of clear objectives and goals that we feel the need to reach. Otherwise we feel that there's really no purpose to our lives, and we kind of feel like we owe ourselves these things, and we most probably assume that other beings as well, especially intelligent ones that might come from other planets or other dimensions, have the same characteristic as well. And that's pretty much the big question in this film, the big question everyone raises. What is this zone, which is called the Shimmer in the film? What does it want? Why is it here? And what's the reason it's doing the things it is doing? I think something that definitely characterizes us as a species is that many times when we want something, it's often, unfortunately, to the detriment of other people or other living things, like animals, for example. Just think of the way we are using the Earth. Like, we are using this world for our own wants and needs, and it seems like we are destroying it in the process. Now, compare that to the Shimmer in this film, which instead of destroying the Earth, instead of wrecking it beyond repair, it sort of seems to be altering it. It sort of seems to be finding new ways to evolve it and to create something new. And the interesting thing is that it doesn't really seem to be wanting this at all in the first place. The Shimmer doesn't really seem to want anything. Instead, it serves as this sort of dreamlike realm in which our characters encounter both nightmarish mutations, but also quite beautiful mutations as well. The Shimmer found a way to make things work the way human beings never could. Just think about it. We are destroying this world without ever actually healing it. Animals are going extinct, we are destroying their habitats, we are cutting down forests to build our cities and our highways on top of them, and the effects of which are pretty much irreversible. The Shimmer, on the other hand, instead of destroying anything and putting something new in its place, actually found a way to combine all elements. There's this very sort of like eureka type of moment when our characters discovered that the reason why they couldn't get the radio signals in and out of the Shimmer was not that because it was blocking them, but because the Shimmer acts as this sort of prism that scrambles radio waves and refracts light waves and even refracts DNA, actual DNA, all DNA. There are plants in this film that grow and that have the physical structure of human beings. And that's something that can seem incredibly cool, but also incredibly frightening at the same time. You know, humans becoming one with plants and animals. Basically everything that physically lives can be combined together. They are no longer bound to this closed genetic system. Different species cease to exist, different sort of forms of life can cross over. The Shimmer is basically erasing all of these boundaries. The Shimmer found a way to go deep and to manipulate the most basic elements of our world in a way that human beings could never be capable of, to create a new type of harmony. There's just one major problem with this, that there is no place in this new order, in this new harmony, for the human psyche. As to be expected, we find out that it's pretty dangerous for humans to enter this zone, because people kind of start to go crazy and to lose their minds and even lose their bodies in this Shimmer. Basically, to enter the Shimmer is to give up your psychological and biological individuality. And that's basically where the main theme of the film comes in, self-destruction. We get to find out that all 5 of these women who volunteered for this expedition are pretty much damaged goods, as one of them puts it. One of them lost a husband, one of them lost a child, one of them has cancer, one of them is a recovering alcoholic, and one of them is suicidal. So they are all pretty much screwed up, and I think they are here in order to find some sort of catharsis, or meaning, or escape, or just some sort of release. Now, I would actually argue that some of them actually do find it. They're also probably in search of some sort of harmony. Like, to quote that very same character, volunteering for this is not something you do when your life is in perfect harmony. There are conversations in the film that take place between characters during which the film literally tells you what it's about. There's this very intriguing moment when Lena asks Ventress why did her husband volunteer for such a suicide mission. And Ventress's reaction is like, is that what you really think we're doing? We're on a suicide mission? It's when you realize that there are these very different and even opposite interpretations between these characters. Lena is here because she thinks she has to fight something. Ventress is here because she thinks she has to face something. And it's these different interpretations between characters that show up all throughout the film. And Ventress's reaction to this as well is also quite intriguing because she says that no one actually commits suicide, none of us almost, but almost all of us self-destruct. In one way or another, we drink, we smoke, we destabilize good jobs and happy relationships and marriages, and it's not a decision. Basically, these are impulses that are coded into us. Self-destruction is coded into our every cell. And that basically seems to be the case, at least as far as the film is concerned, which sees human beings as the sort of creatures that cheat, that lie, that do drugs, and that harm themselves in order for them to feel more alive and to feel more connected. Basically, by the end of the film, you truly do get the sense that Ventress was right. She was right all along. And the Shimmer seems to be a sort of mirror or a representation of this. It basically destabilizes everything in order to create something new, in order to create new life. So it self-destructs, but it doesn't destroy itself in the process. It doesn't commit suicide. And it's particularly not kind to the human psyche, which is something that it sees as pretty much something either useless or something that's heavily flawed and fragile. So the Shimmer, despite how alien it would seem in the first place, pretty much seems to have a lot more in common with us than we would initially expect. So that was my interpretation of Annihilation, folks. This film has been released more than a year now, so you've probably seen it, but if you haven't, maybe I've convinced you and maybe you'll get to watch it. I think it's a great film. It was one of my favorites from last year, so what can I say? Thanks for watching my review, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can see you guys later with other reviews. Don't forget to hit that bell and that notification thingy. And what can I say? Until I'll see you next time, goodbye guys, take care of yourself, and stay cool and stay awesome. Bye bye now.